Welcome to Cory's Stories. Are you ready to meditate with Cory? Are you ready to meditate with Cory? Make sure that you're laying down in your bed and you're very comfortable. That way you can relax your body. You can let go of your day. And hopefully, eventually, you'll fall fast asleep. Heidi, Cherry, and Vaya were looking at each other in the cat's kitchen. Vaya had got over to the pantry, opened the cupboard, took out the sugar bowl, rummaged in the sugar, and retrieved her white scale. When she found her scale outside of the museum and everyone turned into a dragon, Vaya knew that it was very important that she keep her scale very, very safe. She had absolutely no clue where she was going to keep it, but it was something very precious. It was something wonderful. And she figured that keeping it in the sugar bowl would be the perfect place because it would be disguised amongst the white crystals of sugar. And the white crystalline scale would hopefully just disappear into the background. Vaya knew that all she had to do was rub it clean with her paw and they would all turn into dragons once again. Everyone looked at each other. Cherry said, "OMG, are we ready? Are we going to do this, guys?" Tucker said, "Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. I love being a dragon." Everyone else just nodded as if to say, "Yes, we're ready. Let's do it." Vaya rubbed on the white dragon scale in the palm of her paw. And just like that, they were all flying in the sky, soaring through the sky, zipping in and out of clouds, feeling the sun and the wind on the scales. Vaya heard Tucker off in the distance shouting, "Woo-hoo!" as he deep dived down towards what looked like an ocean below. They were in that far away land again. It definitely wasn't Earth. But at this point, they still really didn't know where this place was, where they were at, how they got there. They didn't know anything about this process other than the white dragon scale, rubbing it, and then finding themselves back in this place. Was it another world? Was it another country that they'd just never seen before that looked like another world? Was it somewhere magical? Was it another dimension? Another universe? They had no clue. Vaya found herself up in front and all the others were flying behind her. Intuitively, her powers felt strong. Her intuition was keen. She felt and sensed and knew without thinking. She knew she had to fly to the mountain that was up ahead in front of them. She didn't question it. She felt it in her dragon's stomach, like an inner roar telling her where to go. She assumed that because her eyes were quartz crystals and she was back in her dragon body, that her heightened intuition was part of her power. She wasn't questioning any of it. She just followed along with these feelings that she had in her gut, this strong sense of knowing. And all the others followed along. Even from far away, she could see that there were beams of light coming from the mountain, like discs of light, like when you go to a concert and they have those big streaming lights that fly up into the sky and seem to boom over the city. It looked like that, but the lights were shimmering and moving in all different directions and changing, going in, coming out, getting stronger, going lower, fading. It was intriguing for sure, and she knew she needed to go there. So she kept flying forward, the others following closely behind, as if they knew that they were all on a mission. When they got closer to the top of the mountain, it became more clear of what was taking place. The beams of light were like spheres of light, orbs of light. One of the orbs, very, very big and very, very bright, hovered right there in front of Vaya's face. She took a big, deep inhale through her dragon nose and sniffed, as if she was sniffing out this orb. Who was it? What was it? What was its mission? She opened her mouth and said, "Where are we?" The orb answered instantly, seemingly obeying Vaya's commands. "This is Dixon Lands," the orb said. Tucker, in his black, shiny, magnificent dragon body, said, "Dixon Lands?" The orb filtered out any other noise and just stared solely at Vaya. Vaya said, "Explain." The orb explained. "You are here, in the Diamond region. This is a very special place. There is 8 facets to this octagon land. 8 facets that you can visit. 8 lands of their own. This is Dixon Lands. You're here right now, in the land of light. We are orbs, light orbs. Our job is to put lights wherever is needed so that we give light to everything down below." Vaya said, "What's down below?" The orb obeyed once again and quickly answered, "Anything that needs light is down below. We are the light bringers, the light givers. We are the orbs of light." Vaya looked past and through the orb that was there in front of her face. There must have been hundreds of orbs, seemingly at work behind this orb that she was talking to. They all looked like they had specific jobs. Lots of them were shining over the mountain. And when you looked down from the top of the mountain, there seemed to be castles, forests, lands down below. From where the dragons were at the moment, it wasn't clear what kind of life was down below. Right now, they were just finding out about the orbs, the light bringers. Cherry said, "OMG! How many again? How many?" The light orb, again, didn't say anything, just seemed to stare at Vaya. Vaya had a feeling, a sense, that this was her land. Dixon Lands was her place. If there were 8 facets to this land, Diamond Lands, then she thought about a question. She looked at the light orb and she said, "Is there a central place here?" The light orb answered instantly, "Yes, that would be the apex. That is where the dome of light is created. All things are created there, in the dome, in the apex, in the center of these lands. The 8 facets of the lands extend out from the center. The center is the most important place." "Ah," said Vaya. "Now I understand." She turned around and looked at Leo and Tucker, Heidi and Cherry. "Did you all understand that?" Vaya said. Everyone nodded. Heidi said, "It seems like this is a world of its own. Octagon lands. And there is a central dome, a diamond. The diamond is the apex of the lands. And there are 8 facets that come off from the diamond. 8 versions of worlds. We are in Dixon Land, a world of its own." Vaya said, Yes, that seems to be the case. I feel my powers very strongly here. I think this might be my land." Everyone seemed to sense the same thing, and because Vaya's powers, her strength, her energy, her intuition was so keen here, it was as if it spread through the other dragons. Cherry felt intuitive. Leo felt intuitive. Tucker, Heidi, felt intuitive. Just because Vaya was in her power, the power seemed to seep out of her like a beam of light into the other dragons, and they instantly kicked into being in the same power as her. So even though they had different crystals in their eyes and their ornate powers were different, while they were in Vaya's land, in Dixon Lands, their powers were just as powerful as Vaya's. That's when they realized that they must automatically shapeshift their powers. When they travel into each other's lands, here in the Octagon, they must instantly take on that dragon's power. They were in Vaya's lands. Her quartz crystal powers, her ability to amp up energy, to make energy more powerful and stronger no matter what kind of energy. Her ability, with her quartz crystal eyes, to be completely and utterly intuitive. Her intuition, the most powerful of all. Her knowing, her being able to sense. And right now she felt as if she knew all of this land. She knew how it worked. The more and more questions she asked the light orb, the more and more it seemed to turn on in her mind, the more it woke up in her mind. the more she became what she was supposed to be. It was like an awakening. Every answer was a mini awakening inside of her body, and her knowing told her, yes, this is my land. Vaya's intuition told her to fly high. Go high. All of you, fly with me. Instantly, everyone started to fly up, like an arrow flying into the atmosphere up above Earth, flying higher and higher and higher. But they weren't flying above Earth. They were flying above the octagon. They were flying above the land of the diamond. They were flying higher and higher and higher and higher and higher until they stopped. Because Vaya stopped. All 5 of them looked down, flapping their wings as if they were treading water in the sky. Still as anything except their wings, moving gracefully up and down. And as they peered down, they saw it all. They saw the octagon. They saw the 8 sides, the 8 lands down below, the 8 worlds. They saw the light orbs, focused and concentrated in Vaya's land, Dixon Land. What were all the other lands? There were 7 lands that they needed to visit, 7 lands that they needed to get to know. There was only 5 of them. Were 5 of them their lands? And who did the other 2 belong to? So many questions, so many thoughts. But the more Vaya thought, the more she could see, the more she knew, the more she could feel. She peered down and stared intently at the apex, the point of the diamond in the middle, the point where the dome was, the most important part of this world, down below. What was in the dome? What did it mean? What were its powers? Who lived there? What lived there? All of these questions rushing through her brain, and all of them seemingly being answered in her own mind, one after the other. In this place, in this spot, above the octagon land down below, she felt like she knew it all. Was she to share everything with their friends? Or was she best to let them discover their lands themselves? Was she best letting them discover who they were, just as importantly as she was right now? Vaya started to fly back down, and the other dragons followed. When she flew down lower and got even closer to the light orbs, she sent them a signal, a telepathic message. The orbs stopped everything that they were doing and instantly flew up towards her, all hundreds of them, all over her, attached. She was this bright, bright beam of light. Cherry, OMG! As she followed Vaya. No questions asked. Everyone just followed Vaya, this brilliant, brilliant light dragon flying through the sky. And as she flew down towards the lands effortlessly lit up below. She was a light bringer, a light bearer, like one big giant orb of light. She was bringing light to all that needed it. The end.